Hi, and welcome to this three-part series on studying abroad after class 12th. Now, this is obviously a big decision and involves consideration of multiple factors, and that's what we're going to cover in this three-part series. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the why and how of study abroad, which means, why should you consider studying abroad? What makes it attractive? And also, what are the, various aspects of the application journey and preparation that you need to do when you undertake this important decision. All right, let's get started. Now, studying abroad for many students is actually closely linked to the kind of course options that they choose, that they seek, in fact. And a big reason for why studying abroad is so attractive is that it offers a lot of courses and a lot of options that might not be available back in India. For various reasons, universities abroad offer many course options across sciences, engineering, commerce, management, and the humanities and social sciences. Now, the most attractive aspect is that each of these universities, both public and private, offer a lot of course options. A very wide range of courses are available to students to choose from, and this gives a great deal of flexibility to a student, making it very attractive. A very closely linked point to this is the fact that the system of education abroad tends to allow students to choose major as well as minor courses, a major as well as the minor area of specialization, which means that hypothetically you could choose to study a major in computer science, and yet pursue a minor in a field as diverse as, let's say, business or even photography or filmmaking. So that's what makes it very attractive, the ability to be flexible and choose diverse areas where you could specialize in, where you could gain expertise in. And obviously goes without saying that a big reason why universities abroad are so attractive is that, well, they're very high ranked, at a global level. World rankings for universities in the US, UK, Canada, and so on and so forth tend to be very high, when compared to universities back in India, colleges back in India. And that's something that students covet. Parents as well look at that very favorably. And this is obviously also linked to the kind of infrastructure and faculty that are available, right? These are people who are industry experts, leaders in their respective fields of specialization, and studying from them, learning from them can really set you on the path to success in the chosen field. So that summarizes sort of why universities abroad are attractive. Now, a second reason, and this is not related so much to the course structure, but actually to the kind of exposure that you get when you study abroad and the kind of opportunities that come to you at an international university. Now, increasingly, we live in a globalized world. We live in a world where the boundaries between countries and communities and markets is vastly shrinking. Right now, in this globalized world, it's important to embark on a global career and prepare yourself for that. And studying in a truly global university, something that you could get when you study at a university in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and so on, is the fact that you study in a very diverse environment. You study with students from different cultures, people who speak different languages, belong to different religions, come with different new ideas, and also give you the chance to network and establish relationships that would come and come to your aid in the future, when you start off your career. And that's an opportunity that as a student, I'm sure you also consider as very attractive, very important in your formative education. And well, the most important aspect when you choose a career is obviously how it actually guarantees a good lifestyle, high standard of living in the future. And well, if you study in a program in a university abroad, then chances are that the jobs that you see, the markets and the cities where you'll be working in will give you average salaries which are multiples of what you might get back in India, right? So that's indeed one of the most attractive factors. But it's not so much just the average salary, but also the kind of standards of living, the kind of lifestyle that you lead, and the kind of work-life balance that you could actually get when you work in a market abroad, with an employer in a foreign country. And that's also a factor which comes into play. Obviously, studying in a university abroad opens up doors to such opportunities which you might actually not get back in India, right? So those are broadly the reasons why students prefer to apply to a university abroad. Better course options, the ability to get greater exposure really early on in life, to prepare yourself for a global international career, and obviously the kind of opportunities, jobs, prospects that you get when you study in a truly high ranked university, truly global university in a country abroad, right? Well, if all of this sounds good to you, then and what are next steps? Well, starting early is key. you know Ideal time to start applying to a university, in fact ideal time to start thinking about and starting your research about universities abroad is actually right after class 10. Now this is when most students back in India choose their major disciplines. They choose their streams back in India, and I'd say that right then is also when you should start researching about universities, countries, programs, and specializations that are available abroad, right? And well, I don't mean to say that if you're in class 11th or entering class 12th that you're late, but I mean, it surely gives you a big advantage, because top ranked universities abroad look at a very, very holistic application admission process. And what that means is that your profile, both by way of academics and otherwise, is scrutinized very, very carefully. And so if you start early, you can actually create a very, very strong profile, tailor it to the kind of program, to the kind of specialization that you seek, and really present the best version of yourself. And I think starting early is a big determinant of how well you can do that. Well, if you're thinking of applying, then starting early helps you do your research and figure out, what are the best options based on your requirements. But starting the application itself, well, that's something that you should consider doing at the very least about 8 months before the deadlines come up. And if you're thinking of fall, applications, let's say for 2024, then right now, just as you enter in the summer months in India, that's when you should start very, very seriously creating, various aspects of your application, because it takes as much time. You probably are going to apply to multiple universities, and you need to get a lot of, application materials ready. You need to work on your essays. You need to, you need to coordinate with your school counselor. You need to get your letters of recommendations ready, and all of this takes time. So start at least 8 months in advance. And to give you a quick sort of perspective on this, if you're applying to universities in the US, then chances are some of the early deadlines for universities could be as early as the 1st of November, right? Now what that means is that working backwards, the months of March, April are probably when you're going to start working on your application. And so, which is why I said this right now is probably the right time, the correct time to start working on your application, to start thinking about, hey, what's my profile like, and what should I really target in terms of universities, and what can I put forward as my narrative in the application essays. Well, what exactly goes into an application? Well, it's a long extended checklist which obviously you should know very, very well, and this can include the application itself. Now there are a lot of common applications that universities in the US consider. There's the Common App or the Coalition app for a bunch of universities in the US that you could do all together, right? So it's most of the cases it's going to be an online application. But besides the online application come the testing requirements. Now, this could mean that you might need to take the SAT or the ACT, as may be the case. If indeed you're confused about which one to choose, well, do consider contacting us. But testing requirements apart, there's also language testing requirements, right? And language proficiency tests like IELTS or TOEFL are almost mandatory or almost required for all students from India. So that's also something that you need to get ready. And this besides these come other sort of narrative aspects, which include the essays in your application, which includes letters of recommendation from two or more recommenders, in your academic slash professional sort of relationships. It might also include a resume or a CV of all the work that you've done up until this point. And lastly, it could also include, a declaration of your financial position, right? Obviously, not your own financial position, that of your family, that of your parents. But indeed, this is an important consideration, and you might need to start early in order to plan for something, as important as this, right? So those are broadly the things that you need to start planning for. And I think right now is the time to start this process. Our services, quickly want to tell you about how we can help you. If you are looking to apply to a university abroad for your bachelor's degree, then we can help you at all of these aspects, with all of these aspects, which start right from choosing which universities to target, which geographies and countries should you look at, in terms of preparing also for the standardized tests like the SAT or language tests like the IELTS or the TOEFL. We can give you the guidance as well as the expertise that we have as consultants. We can help you with acing and getting a really top score. We can also help you, handhold you through the application process, and explain what in your narrative will actually stand out, how to make the application actually create a really big impact on admission committees. Remember, it's all about standing out. It's all about presenting the best version of yourself, and that's something that we really pride ourselves on. And finally, if there are other aspects to your application which include, let's say, some assessments or even applying for scholarships and assistantships, that's also something that we can assist you with, right? So all in all, I think I'm going to leave you with this thought of start early. If you're really serious about applying for a bachelor's program abroad, start early, start doing your research early. Contact mentors such as the ones that we have on our platform, because it's all about knowing the nitty-gritties and understanding the application process in order to be successful at it. Thank you. Wish you all the very best, and I hope to see you in the next part of this 3-part series. Do give me a thumbs up to this video if you liked it, and follow the link in the description if you need to reach out to us for any assistance, any guidance, or any queries that you might have. See you around. Thank you, and wish you all the best.